I'm Lena Ross from Change Hacks, and I'm actually counting sleeps to Convergence 2017. Now, for those of you that haven't heard of Convergence, it's the only dedicated change management conference taking place in the Asia Pacific, and that's next month in March. And I'm even more excited that I'm going to be a speaker at that conference. So I'm going to get this dual experience as both speaker and as a participant. And we all know that conferences are a great place to go and network with other people and really learn from each other and gain wonderful insights. Now, the topic I'm talking on is Dare to Disrupt. Now, without giving too much away, I'll be using a case study to demonstrate how small things you do in a large organisation can actually make a big difference and hack the culture. So a little bit more on that you can find out about on the Convergence website. Now what I'll do, I'll launch into my lightning talk that talks about social learning at conferences so we can explore a little bit more about how to get the most out of that. So when I'm asked to talk about social learning, it's very hard to talk about that without giving a special mention to something really exciting that happened back in November last year. And what happened then was that we went to the AITD Awards. I was working for NAB at the time, and I submitted an idea that I implemented at NAB to have these NED talks, which are like TED Talks in the workplace. And we actually won the inaugural award, the Australian Institute of Training and Development Awards for social learning and collaboration. And what happens then after that is a lot of people have come to me and said, can you give me some tips on social learning? How can I best learn socially? What are some of the best channels, and how can I implement this or go on my own professional and personal learning journey? So as I think about it, I'm going to actually talk about conferences at this session today, because conferences to me provide the quintessential learning social channel for all of us. And the reason for that is you go there and you learn pretty much from your industry peers, but you also network. So you have that intersection of networking and learning in the one place. So I've come up with 3 tips for you on what to do when you decide on a conference or when you're shopping around for this conference for your social learning experience. And let's take a look at those. So the first tip is think global, okay? When you go and look for a conference to attend, don't just look for the ones that are in your hometown. Some of the really great conferences out there are out of your state, even out of your country. Now, some of my peers in change management have come back from conferences overseas, such as the United States, with amazingly fresh insights and perspectives because they've really broadened their horizons. And of course, if you can combine that with a holiday, even better. Okay, now that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is be mindful when you go to these conferences, the thought leaders are not just the ones standing behind the podium or running the workshops. Those conferences attract thought leaders as participants because they're demonstrating that commitment by going to that conference. They're actually suspending their day jobs and their day-to-day stuff to go and learn. So they're also on the same journey as you. So look at everywhere for your thought leaders, okay? They're not just behind the podium, they're also the people at the conference. So you never know who you can meet. So great way to expand your social learning network. And last but not least, tip number 3 for me is always backchannel from your conference. What do I mean by backchanneling? That might be a new term for some of you, but backchanneling is pretty much in real time on social media. You backchannel and you communicate some of your key learnings from the conference, a couple of photos, and as you can see up here on the slide, I've got a tweet that's an example of a backchannel, if you like, from a conference, and most conferences now will have a hashtag. So by using the hashtag every time you backchannel, whether you're backchanneling in real time or just after the conference, will give you a great way to search through what those key insights are from other people, because we will learn a lot, not just from what we've taken away from the conference, but what our industry peers have also taken away and what their key takeaways are to take back to the workplace. So hopefully those 3 tips on how to get the most out of your conference are helpful to help you all on your social learning journeys, because don't forget, we learn a lot from our industry peers. A lot of that learning takes place outside a formal face-to-face classroom. Well, I'll look forward to seeing you at Convergence between 7th to 9th of March in Canberra. See you there.